diversity tries to reverse people's bias. It's really hard to do that. Most of the time, it doesn't work. So how do you do this?
So one of the things, so I lived in Turkey for 3 years, and one of the things that living in Turkey taught me was in the United States, we are very gifted in going to events and talking to people for hours and not saying anything. What do you talk about? We talk about our commute, we talk about the weather, we talk about sports teams. You all do it. I spend time, I got to go to this party, let me watch ESPN. So I make sure I've got all the latest so I can talk about sports and stuff like that. So I moved to Turkey. Turkey is 98% Muslim. My family's Christian. It's fine. We were having dinner, and we were having some of our new Turkish friends to the house. So in preparation for this dinner, my wife and I are studying the local sports teams. So Fenerbahce and Galatasaray and the local soccer teams, and we ready to talk about how bad the traffic was and all that stuff. And not really thinking about it, but that's just what you talk about. Mm-hmm. So, and what are we going to avoid? Race, religion, and politics, right?
Good luck.
So we're at dinner, during appetizers, and my friend Gertai looks right across the table. We've been 15 minutes. We're sitting here, and he says, so, Orlando, let's talk about this guy, Jesus, that you guys love so much. Oh, and my wife is kicking me under the table, like, what do? I go, no, we can't deny Jesus. you better say something. But so Gertai and I talked about that later. I said, why did you ask me that? And he said, well, I wasn't trying to convert you, and you weren't going to convert me, but it'd be disrespectful to come into your home and not talk about something meaningful.
Oh, wow.
And he said, what did you want to talk about? The weather? I was actually going to talk about sports, but that was a powerful lesson for me, and it has changed how I talk about things, how I frame it. Now I still know how to go to an event and talk about nothing, if that's what I need to do. But in certain scenarios, if I really want to befriend you, I'll go there with you. I'll have a conversation with you about something that's traditionally been taboo. And I think the goal around diversity is how do we create environments where people can have real conversations, can make mistakes, and can recover from them. Because I don't know everything about you. I can't, because we've turned diversity into this thing where you got to memorize this checklist about all these different groups. Mm-hmm. And I got to remember all this about women and all this about Asian, all this about Africa. And then people say, this is too much. Yeah. So I just give up. And now I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to be very generic. You don't get innovations and insights from being generic. You get innovations and insights from having a real conversation. But we have to create some safety where people can make some mistakes. And I can just correct you and help you come back from that. So my friends in Maine, it's not good to take a young colored boy and run him up and down the aisles and have people touch his hair. Now, they were trying to be provocative and educational. So after my mother clarified that for them, they didn't do that anymore. And so there was a learning moment, you know what I mean? And so how do we create environments where people can explore, have honest conversations, have learning moments when people make mistakes and recover from them? And if you can figure that out, that cultural environment out, diversity takes care of itself.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where the training has failed, because we've tried to put all these rules in everybody's head about say this or don't say this, and that just doesn't work.
People, it's paralysis.
Right.
Yeah.